Welcome, welcome, welcome to the check-in report. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Sean P. Diddy Combs, his home has been raided. By the feds, by Homeland Security. How did we get this far? Let me get my music. I am your humble host, humble host, True and Living, and welcome to the check-in report, ladies and gentlemen. How did we get here, ladies and gentlemen? If you don't know, Diddy, who has been entangled in lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, he paid off Cassie. Shout out to Cassie. She got $30 million from P. Diddy. Let's shout out to her. You know. All of these rappers, making innuendos, saying, "Oh yeah, Diddy, he's kind of funny. He's kind of funny style. He's kind of zesty." All of these rappers that insinuated that Diddy was funny style, that he was kind of one fry short of a Happy Meal, if you know what I'm saying, right? The only person to be brave enough to show some courage was Cassie, ladies and gentlemen. She was the one to out Diddy, tell the truth of what was going on and behind those closed doors, what was going on behind the curtains of the industry. She was the only one to be brave enough to expose Diddy in the inner workings of his whole of whatever he has going on, whatever shindigs he got going on, clearly, because it was Homeland Security, and clearly it was the feds who kicked down the door. Clearly, there must be something. Because listen, the feds, they're not just kicking down your door for no reason. All right, just letting y'all know, they're not kicking down your door for no reason. There's a reason why the feds are kicking down the door. They have significant evidence to say, okay, you may be doing something. You may be committing a crime. Shout out to Dr. Strange. I see Dr. Strange is in the building. Salute to Dr. Strange. I see Dr. Strange is in the building. Salute to Dr. Strange. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I think he may be cooked as well. It's not looking good for Diddy, man. I'm not here to clown on Diddy because, these are serious charges. Not charges. He hasn't been charged yet. Let me take that back. He has not been charged yet. But, I don't think it's a laughing matter that the feds come kicking down the door like the A-Team, like the Ghostbusters. And now you're forced to have to deal with that. The pressure is on. It's only a matter of time before, they make everything stick like glue. They come with the charges. They ultimately come with the indictment. And then, Diddy may have to be, he may have to sit down for a while, But this is on the road. This is on the Rolling Stone. We're gonna get to some video as well, some aerial shots of them, raiding the home. Sean Combs, home raided as part of a sex trafficking investigation. Oh no! Actually, let me take that back. Let me do the hold on. So this is a sex trafficking investigation, ladies and gentlemen. This is a sex trafficking investigation. Officials descended upon the P. Diddy estates, Los Angeles and Miami, and they also went to his New York apartment. They don't have that in this report, but they also went to 3 locations. It was LA, Miami, and his New York apartments. 4 months ago, after Cassie accused him of assault, and sex trafficking. Listen, and we have to commend Cassie, because like I said, Cassie is the one who really kicked down the door. All of these rappers who, insinuated that Diddy was just some funny style dude. You don't want to be left alone with Diddy at a party. You don't want to be left alone with Diddy, at some type of shindig. You don't want to be left alone with Diddy in a closed room. All of them made innuendos, but it was Cassie, ladies and gentlemen, who was brave enough to pretty much, tell the truth of what was going on, or tell her truth of what was going on, rather. Officials raided 2 of Sean Combs' homes on Monday. A law enforcement source confirmed to Rolling Stone as part of a federal sex trafficking investigation led by Homeland Security. So again, this is Homeland Security. So I'm guessing, this is just my opinion, this is just me guessing, if Homeland Security is involved in this, then clearly there must be some type of, trafficking of maybe immigrant women, foreign women. I'm guessing if Homeland Security is also in this case, or they have something to do with this, I'm guessing that he's, they're alleging, or they're, investigating him for allegedly, possibly moving some underage, or possibly moving some foreign immigrant women. That's just my opinion. Shout out to Sinclair. I see Sinclair's in the building. Salute to that guy 6. Salute to MAF Gig Econ. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Thank you for joining me. Salute. But it's not looking good for Diddy right now. It's not looking good for him. The raid was carried out just 4 months after the rap mogul ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie, accused Combs of sex trafficking. So again, she got her bag, and in this report, they're going to tell you, hopefully we'll catch up to that. On this report, they're saying that it's 4 Jane Does. There's 4 Jane Does, and they're saying that it's 1 John Doe. So they're saying it's about 4 women that are coming forward with a testimonial, and 1 man coming forward with a testimonial, right? Helicopters and agents were seen swarming the Diddy estates and Los Angeles mansion on Monday afternoon. Footage of the scene appeared to show some men later identified as Combs' sons, Justin and King, detained. I don't know if you guys seen that, but even his sons, I have the picture of that. Let me pull that up real quick, because I'll get right back to the report. His sons were detained. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Diddy, don't tell me you're gonna allow your sons, while you're allegedly they're saying Diddy's he's on a plane right now, or he went to the Caribbean islands. Don't tell me you're gonna allow your sons to be detained, or be arrested rather, while you're on a plane to Antigua, or to the Caribbean. This is the footage of his sons. I think that's Justin right there, or Quincy. I think that's Christian Combs, King Combs. And these are his sons right here. So, his sons are, and keep in mind, his sons were implemented in that lawsuit. In that lawsuit, I believe, I forgot the name of the dude's name. I think his name is Little Rod. He was the one implementing one of his sons, saying his sons brought in the underage girls, his sons brought in this, his sons were bringing these things to P. Diddy. So he, in that lawsuit, the sons were implemented. So don't think that the sons or the feds rather are not taking a good look at the sons. They're taking a good look at the sons as well. Don't think that they wasn't questioning or investigating the sons. Don't think that they wasn't getting don't think that they didn't want the phones and the iPads and the laptops of the sons as well, because I do think that they're searching this Diddy estates. They're searching it top and bottom. They want all the phones, they want all the iPads, they want all the laptops, they want all of it. And they're implementing the sons, because there's a lawsuit out there that implemented the sons, saying that the sons were pretty much bringing, underage females around Diddy, Yeah, so I talked about that. Detained and waiting outside the Humble Hills house. Officials were also present at Combs' Miami residence. Combs was in Florida at the time of the raid, according to NBC News, and officials reportedly seized the phones before the Bad Boy Records executives were scheduled to leave for a trip to the Caribbean. So he had this Caribbean trip, I guess, planned or whatever. A source tells Rolling Stone, here it goes. Here we go, y'all. A source tells Rolling Stone 4 Jane Does and a John Doe already set for interviews with the Southern District of New York investigations. They're already looking into, they already have witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. They already talking to people. They already have 4 witnesses. No, actually 5, 5 witnesses, because they have 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe already set for interviews with Southern District of New York investigators for a probe related to alleged sex trafficking, domestic violence, and racketeering. More interviews are scheduled, the sources says. Now, let me just say this real quick, right? The feds are not gonna just kick down the door for no reason. Let me just tell y'all that right now. The feds have a reason for kicking down your door. They have to have significant evidence, significant probable cause for them to kick down your door, to raid your houses, to take your laptops, to take your couches, rip open the couches, see what's inside of it, flip over your beds, see what's underneath your bed, grab all the laptops, iPad. They have to have significant amount of evidence to do that. So somebody's talking, whether it's one of these witnesses, whether they have somebody in there planting things, there's somebody talking. There's somebody that has intimate information that they're giving. Or maybe they seen something, right? There's more to be had here. There's more to be talked about here. Hold on. Let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into it. Earlier today, Homeland Security investigations in New York executed law enforcement actions as a part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles. So all of these different districts in these different cities and these different states were working together. They were working all simultaneously together, right? Los Angeles, Miami, New York. They all worked in tandem to go inside of the homes of Sean P. Diddy Combs and local enforcement partnerships. We will provide further information as it becomes available, Homeland Security investigation spokesman said in a statement. Rolling Stone has contacted Combs for comment. I'm sure that he's not talking right now. It would be wise for Sean P. Diddy Combs to not be talking. Douglas Window, who represents Cassie Ventura. This is the woman who got the settlement money from Diddy. You know, it's being reported that she got at least upwards of $10 to $20 million. Hold on. $10 to $20 million from Diddy, right? And a Jane Doe. So keep in mind, Dwight Wigdor, he represents Cassie and a Jane Doe. So I'm suspecting that Cassie's one of the Jane Does. Or if Cassie's not one of the Jane Does, I'm believing that Cassie sat down, because you got to understand something. Did Cassie sign NDAs? She probably did. More than likely, especially when that whole settlement went down, I'm sure she signed some documents that she can't talk to anybody or whatever. But that doesn't supersede the federal government. If the federal government knocks on your door and they say, we want you to cooperate, yada, 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 that NDA that she signed, that settlement, whatever that settlement agreement that she signed, does not supersede the federal investigation. So if the federal agents come knocking on that door and they say, Cassie, we know that this man has done damage to you. He's dead. He's hurt you. He's done just inconceivable things to you. We want your story. We want to hear information that you have that you could help us with our investigation, I'm sure that Cassie would kindly oblige. I'm sure that Cassie would kindly oblige. Cassie would have no problem. Cassie would have no issue with giving information. Why not? This man hurt me. This man did this. This man put his hands on me. This man had me in different rooms with allegedly male prostitutes doing, unconceivable things to me. Why wouldn't Cassie want to get back at Diddy? Why wouldn't Cassie want to sit in a room with the federales and the federal agents and Homeland Security and give some information that can alter? She's already got her money. Salute to her for getting her money. Salute to her for getting her money. But she's already got her money, right? So why wouldn't she want to do that? That's something that we have to ask ourselves. And hold on. This is the statement that they wrote. Cassie's lawyer. We will always support law enforcement. This is what they said. This is what the lawyer said. When it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. Now you have to ask yourself, I don't see a reason why Cassie wouldn't work with the government. I don't see a reason why not. Attorney Tyrone Blackburn, who represents two accusers of, now this is Little Rod. Attorney Tyrone Blackburn, who represents two accusers, music producer Rodney Jones and Eliza Gardner, tells Rolling Stone, it's about damn time. This is what they said. Sometimes justice delayed is not justice denied, so long as justice ultimately arrives. Ladies and gentlemen, is Diddy cooked? I had to read the whole report, man. Is Diddy cooked? Now let's get into this report. Now they had aerial footage of Diddy getting, his homes being raided. Let's see this footage.
ABC
here.
News that right now authorities are carrying out searches at properties associated with P. Diddy. This is all part of a federal investigation into human trafficking. They also say that
this is mostly about human trafficking. They're investigating because listen. A lot of these lawsuits are the Little Rod lawsuit, the Cassie lawsuit. A lot of these lawsuits are just alluding that Diddy is pretty much, trafficking people. He has you hear the stories about the male prostitutes. You hear the stories about, Diddy and all of these wild orgies and all of these wild, sexually deviant scenarios and situations. It begs to ask the question, what is Diddy doing? Does he have some type of trafficking ring? Is he involved in it? Does he have knowledge of such thing? Let's get into it.
This investigation has been ongoing now for several months. They add our
now look at that. He got the home on Star Island.
Sources that an arrest does not appear to be imminent at this time, but what you are looking at
is an arrest. Do y'all think an arrest is ultimately coming down the pipe? Is an arrest ultimately the end goal here? Is the arrest ultimately the end game here? Me personally, I think that it's nothing but a matter of time before we see some charges come down. It's nothing but a matter of time before we see some charges.
Right now is live video of one of these searches being conducted. Now, this is a search that is happening at Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles home. This is in the Beverly Hills area. So you can see a tremendous amount of law enforcement present there all around that home.
They had everybody out there.
So this search just began.
Miami PD.
Began here. There's also
State PD.
As we understand.
State troopers.
And another
still Team 6,
search,
the A-Team,
being conducted,
Avengers,
on the other
Justice League.
Side of the
they had everybody down there. The diddler. They calling this a freako, not a Rico, but a freako. Is Diddy cooked? Is he cooked? Is it over for Diddy? Is it over for Diddy? We need to ask ourselves, will this be another R. Kelly, Bill Cosby situation where they ultimately, they drain the funds of the mogul or whatever. I mean, it's something to think about. It's something to really think about. Sinclair says feds can freeze his money. They will get him for trafficking in RICO. Salute to Nelly. Nelly, they're calling it a frico, not a RICO, a frico. Let me put it in the chat. Let me put it in the chat for you, Sinclair. They're calling it a frico. They're calling it a superseding frico. Is Diddy? Is he? Listen, I don't think it's funny. Salute to Outstack. I see Outstack is in the building. Salute to Outstack. Salute. I don't think it's funny that Diddy is dealing with this. I mean, I'm sure he's dealing with a lot of, he's dealing with a lot right now. This is a lot to deal with. You're planning a trip. Think about it. He planned a trip to go to the Caribbeans
country in Miami because,
and ultimately, you want to, when you go on vacation, you want to have a good time.
We are hearing from Homeland Security.
Hold on. You want to have a good time when you're on vacation. You want to be on the beach. I mean, he has a beautiful home, but I mean, sometimes you still just want to get away, get that fresh air, new sights. You want to be on the beach with a nice little, daiquiri in your hand. So, he probably, I'm sure he's a businessman. I'm sure he's had a rough week. He just want to get away for a little bit. For you to get up this morning thinking, I'm about to go on vacation. I'm about to have a good time. I just gave Cassie $30 million, but I still got enough money. I'm still paid. I still got this beautiful home, Next thing you know, the feds are kicking down your door. Next thing you know, the feds are they're running up into the homes. They snatching iPads, they snatching laptops, they snatching MacBooks. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot of pressure to deal with.
The ability to search a home, probable cause. So what I'm doing is I'm looking
on probably from the evidence response teams of maybe the FBI and DHS to do this search.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, see, they've been in that home since when did this start? This had to start around maybe 3 or 4. Salute to Nelly. I see Nelly's in the building. Salute to Nelly. But they've been in these homes, his homes, for the last since early this afternoon. This when this started. Early this afternoon, they've been raiding his home. And I'm gonna say it right now, they're probably gonna be in these homes, into the wee hours of the morning. Because these are big homes. Look at these homes. Look at the size of these homes.
So a large vehicle to...
These are big 40 million Star Island homes, bro. It's gonna take time. You gotta search all the rooms. You gotta search every nook and cranny. You gotta grab every laptop, every phone, all of the records, paperwork. You gotta look for secret compartments, panic rooms, underground tunnels. It's a lot for the federales to look through. So they're going to be taking their time, and they're going to be doing everything that by the book, just so they can, pretty much get Diddy for whatever they can get him for. They're going to have to do it.
Collect evidence. It does also look like it has some kind of satellite up in the air as well. We're also seeing local news in the area, and you're seeing law enforcement, Brad, sort of walking down a very long driveway to enter the home, and you're not seeing, it's not a chaotic scene.
How do y'all ultimately feel? Let me ask y'all this, right? Because I'll put a picture up. Let me just veer off for 1 second. How do y'all ultimately feel about him? And this is all allegedly, because I don't know if he was on the jet. They're saying that he was on the jet but I also saw a report that he wasn't on the jet, right? So I don't know if he's on the jet. I don't know if he's been detained. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where. Diddy's like, where's Waldo right now? I don't know where he's at, all right? But this is my question to y'all. How do y'all feel about him ultimately, supposedly, being on a jet, flying to the Caribbean islands, supposedly, and his kids is in handcuffs? You got your son here, Christian Combs. He's in handcuffs. You got your other sons, Quincy and what is it, Justin? You got them in handcuffs. And, you know, I'm sure that their lawyers ain't present. You know, the feds is probably asking them questions because, you know, God knows whoever's been talking, whatever person that, you know, whatever, you know, whoever the Jane Doe or the John Does are that's talking. They were Little Rod, he implemented one of the sons into the lawsuit. He said that his son was bringing underage girls around Diddy. That's what he said. And, you know, they tried to clean it up. You know, they tried to do what they could. But Diddy, like, you know, these are your sons, man. You can't just hop on no jet and let your sons, you know, take the rap. And while you go to Antigua or Turks and Caicos and start, you know, Diddy bopping, you know. You can't do that, my nigga. You can't do that. Don't do that, my nigga. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let your sons take the rap while you go to the Caribbeans, while you go to Turks and Caicos and start Diddy bopping. You can't do that. You let Sean take the rap, right? Back in the day, you let him take the rap. You let him do, you know, 20 years in prison or however long it was in prison. You let him take the rap. You can't do that to your sons, Diddy. You can't do that. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow it, Diddy. You can't do that. You don't let your sons take the rap for you. That's not fair. That's not right. You know, this was learned behavior. If they are a part of it, and I'm hoping that they're not, and I'm not wishing no jail time on none of his sons. I'm not even wishing jail time on Diddy at all. But they were implemented in one of the lawsuits. He talked about how his son was bringing underage women around Diddy. Now, I don't know if the John Doe was Little Rod, but clearly the feds have been talking to some people. The feds have been talking to some people that have been around Diddy. They know the inner workings of the organization and what has been going on. If you're in here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you like this video. That is a warning. Warning. You know. But is it shine time for Diddy? I need to know. Let me know. Vote right now. Is Diddy cooked? Is he cooked right now? Is it over for Diddy? Do you ultimately see Diddy doing some time behind bars? Because that may be a reality right now. Diddy possibly, and I'm not wishing this on Diddy, and I'm not hoping this on Diddy, but this is ultimately a reality. The feds kicked down the door for a reason. The feds never come just because. They're not knocking on your door, kicking down your door just because. That they don't move like that. Normally, when the feds kick down the door, they already have enough evidence to arrest you. They just looking for more stuff. They just looking to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Yeah, we got this amount on Diddy. We got enough to arrest him right now. We got enough right now. But let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Maybe there's something even more that we can find out. But we got enough to at least kick down the door. So we have to realize that it's shine time for Diddy. And let me play this. Hold on. There's also something else that I have to play. This is when Diddy was at the airport. He was at the airport. They said he was pacing around the airport. Let me see if I got that queued up. They said he was pacing around the airport. I had it right here. I don't know why. Said he was pacing around the airport. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, the commercials playing. TMZ with their dang commercials. Hold on. Yeah, but they said he was pacing around the airport. You know, he wasn't looking really too good. I mean, he wasn't looking too hot right now. You know. Here you go. Here you go right here. pacing around the airport. You see him right there.
I guess you wonder what's gonna happen next, Diddy. I know.
You got some black guy over there, you know, relishing the moment right now, you know, making fun of Diddy while he's going through this tumultuous time. You know, listen, man, you know, what's going, like, honestly, like, a part of me, because I'm gonna be real with y'all, a part of me kind of saw this coming. I kind of saw this coming, but it's just like, you know, I'm kind of like on the fence with it, you know, because do I think Diddy did some of this stuff? Absolutely. Do I think Diddy is getting some of the karma from a lot of the messed up things that he may have did? Absolutely. But it's also like, I'm going to be honest with you, some of these people that are coming forward on Diddy, I don't know how believable they are. Do I think Diddy's hands are ultimately dirty? Do I think that Diddy has a past? Does he have some skeletons in his closet? And is he ultimately, you know, dealing with the backlash of a lot of things that he's done? I believe so. Here he is, though. Can you imagine, like, what's going on in his mind right now? He's just pacing around, walking around, trying to, like, you know, I mean, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. I mean, you can't prepare for feds kicking down your door. How do you prepare for that? Knowing you have this history, knowing you have these things on your back, knowing that you have all of these things. Sinclair says, don't backpedal. We called it months ago. Salute to Sinclair. That is true. That is true. We did call it months ago. We did call it months ago. I agree. We did. But I mean, listen. Do I think that at this point it doesn't even matter? Like, because I believe personally, I think the feds have enough to book him. I think right now the feds have enough to book him right now. Like, as I speak right now, the feds have enough to book him. They got enough to book him right now.
Just these the guys on the ground.
They got more footage.
Heavily armed officers that made their way inside. They actually are kind of just
look at the size of that home.
About or holding the perimeter, as it would be, the non-essential.
Think about all the royalty statements that he stole.
You can see them making their way back over to these armored vehicles, probably doing a little deep.
All the stolen pub from Keith Murray, Mace, Biggie, 112, Total,
it really is.
Craig Mack. A lot of bottles of Ciroc paid for that home.
Or the people that know what they're looking for, probably still out there on the streets, and they're waiting for that all clear to make sure that there is absolutely nobody on this property.
But that home is humongous.
And again, this is just a precaution.
I think this is the Star Island one.
Issues, maybe somebody's hiding still, maybe just scared, and you know, it doesn't have to be nefarious, and just because they don't know what's going on. And
wee hours of the morning to check that home. There's no way you could check. There's no way you could check every nook and cranny of that home. Looked like it has to have at least 20 to 30 rooms. 20 to 30 rooms in that house. And you also got to keep in mind, you know, the secret compartments. I'm sure there's a lower level. I'm sure there's a panic room. I'm sure they're gonna have to check all of this.
Have somebody pop out of
I'm sure they're gonna have to check the cars,
closet or a bathroom or any one of these rooms.
They gotta grab every laptop, every iPhone
while they're doing that investigation, and then other problems can ensue. So that's basically why we're seeing that large presence. They keep walking through there, and like you mentioned, this is an.
Sinclair says Diddy right now is wondering who sold him out. He has betrayed so many people over the decades. I agree. He has. He knows. I think he knows that Cassie is quarterbacking this thing. I think he realizes that Cassie is quarterbacking this thing. Cassie is the one who really kicked it off. Cassie's the one. She's the one who kicked this thing off. I'm sure right now, as I'm speaking, he's probably regretting the day she ever came into his bad boy offices. I'm sure he's regretting the day he even laid eyes on her, because she's the one who really kicked this thing off. Al Stack says, especially with the accusations. Dr. Strange says, yep, when Cassie popped off. Sinclair says, oh, you don't backpedal. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to backpedal. Sinclair says, wait until they get the hidden video vault. Now, that's another thing that they have been speculating, that there's some type of hidden like vault with all these videos and all of these sexual escapades. That can be. I think that. Let me ask y'all this. This. Do y'all think Diddy is that dumb to leave a video library of all his sexual excursions? All of the times, he let Diddy, all of the times Diddy let somebody else smash his woman, or possibly he had a little, a rendezvous with another man. No Diddy. Do y'all ultimately think that Diddy is dumb enough to leave a video library of all of his, sexual crimes, if you will, in his home? Sinclair says yes. He thinks he's untouchable. They do say criminals. They do say like serial criminals that they can't get rid of the evidence. Like if somebody's like a serial deleter, or somebody's like a serial, with the sexual crimes, that they keep like the mementos and stuff like that. So I did hear that. And R. Kelly, he had a lot of tapes floating around. He had a lot of stuff floating around. Dr. Strange says, I don't know. I think it's Cassie. She doesn't even have to be active in this. Her statements can be used, and then from there they did more digging. Got more people to talk. Probably already raided the sex ring. I mean, ultimately, from what I'm seeing, to me, it seems like they're putting Diddy at the top of the list. If there is some type of sex ring or something like that, I think that they're putting Diddy as like the the head honcho. Like he's at the top of the list. He's like on that chart where they put all the people that's part of the crime conspiracy. I would think Diddy would be at the top of that list.
Extremely large home, and probably with many rooms and little secret areas. So they want to make sure that
they're going to be in that home until early this morning. They're going to be there for a very long time.
Is cleared before they allow.
Because this is another thing that people don't know. When the feds kick down the door and they raid your home or whatever, they're not allowed to raid your home, leave, and come back. Once they leave your home, they can't come back and raid again. You can't do that. So everything has to be by the book. You gotta take everything that you take, all the laptops, all the phones, all of the documents, all of it has to be accounted for. It has to be all ticketed. It has to, and in discovery, P. Diddy, he'll get everything that was taken from him. They'll say, we took about 10 laptops, about 5 phones, we took documents in your cabinets, we took this, we took that, we found this amount of drugs, we found 5 firearms that were hidden in the home. Like all of it's gonna be in discovery for Diddy, once they leave the home. But the police can't, like the feds can't raid your home and leave like, oh, let's go to lunch break, or, oh, let's go get a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts and come back to raid. Once they leave, that's it. Once they leave the home, that's it. So they have to do everything by the book. I don't know if they show it on this video, but they had a huge evidence van.
Investigators in to start doing that investigation.
And you gotta think about all the different agencies that's a part of this investigation. You got Homeland Security, you got the feds, you got the local police department. You have different agencies in this whole, in this whole case right here.
That they're looking for, but you can see a number of those officers making their way back into that.
Sinclair says he thinks the videos of people he can blackmail is insurance. Do you think he has let me ask y'all this, because that's interesting what you said, Sinclair. Do you think that ultimately, let's say this, right? Let's say ultimately, because this is my scenario off of what you're saying. Do you think ultimately that they're going to get Diddy in a room and they're going to say, okay, Diddy, we have these drugs on you, we have these firearms on you, and we have your video library of all these things you did to people, right? You have two options. Either you could go to jail, do your time, or you could work with us, maybe rat on some higher echelon people, maybe some higher, maybe a Clive Davis, maybe, other prominent people, elites in the industry, and you could take them down and we'll lower your sentence. Do you think that Diddy will ultimately take a deal? The diddler. And they're calling Diddy the diddler on Twitter, right? They're calling him the diddler. They're calling him the diddler right now. Sinclair says, can't wait for the probable cause affidavit. Priceless. Dr. Strange says, I understand police and feds, but why is Homeland Security there? Like I said, they didn't bring out none of this when they raided Epstein or Weinstein. This is my theory on why Homeland Security is there. This is my theory. I believe that because you got to think, Doctor, they're investigating him for sex trafficking, right? So I think that possibly there's some type of sex ring where, women are being trafficked. They could be underage, they could be illegal immigrants. And maybe that's why, because a lot of people don't think that, a lot of people think Homeland Security is all about, terrorism and stuff like that. They deal with sex trafficking, people that are being sex trafficked, throughout the country, like whether they be immigrants, whether they be foreigners. Homeland Security deals with that as well. That they have an agency for that as well. So I'm thinking maybe that's why Homeland Security is involved in this investigation, because he's being investigated for sex trafficking. So if that's the case, maybe they have evidence or probable cause that he's trafficking women that are possibly immigrants, possibly foreigners. Just a possibility. That's just my theory on why Homeland Security is also involved in this investigation. Sinclair says, Doctor, tiny hats get different party. Sinclair clapping at the small hats. Dr. Strange says, yeah, that's the same as Epstein. No, Homeland Security did the raid, and Epstein was heavily dealing with women from all over the world. Yeah, I don't know why. That is something to look into. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why they're, but keep this in mind, Dr. Strange. Clearly, there must be enough evidence to substantiate all of these agencies getting involved in this. I don't think that because I'm gonna be honest, if they felt like there was really nothing there, if Homeland Security felt like nothing was really there for them, like, nah, we'll let the feds have this, we'll let the feds, quarterback this, we don't want to be involved in this, I think they ultimately would have just, gave it to the feds and just went their way. I think that there's probably, allegedly, enough probable cause to say that what I was saying about the illegal immigrants, stuff like that, and possibly them being trafficked in this ring that they're saying, they're looking and investigating Sean P. Diddy Combs into, this probable cause there. Maybe they have enough evidence to say, yeah, he's been doing this. Yeah, he's involved in this. That's just something to think about,
This is the big main house, as it would be, making their way back inside, and I would venture to say that they're going to just go through every one of those rooms and make sure that there is nobody in there. I don't think they're those guys that we're seeing, guys and gals that we're seeing in those heavily armored gear and equipment. I don't think they're actually searching for any items that could connect whatever.
Look at the size of that home.
The investigation is. I would bet
all of the rappers that got their dreams stepped on, you know, Biggie losing his life, Craig Mack, Diddy just discarding him, Loon, Sean, he left him in prison, Mace, he had to run to the church. All the royalties they stole from 112, he stole from 112. Paid off that home. Let's be real with it. I'm just keeping it a buck. You know, of course, you know, he had the revolt. Of course, he had he sold a couple bottles of Ciroc. But I'm talking about the foundation of that home. The foundation of that home is off of the blood, sweat, and tears of Biggie. It's off the blood, sweat, and tears of all of the artists that he kind of ripped off, and you know, he gave them their pub deal after it was worth pennies on the dollar. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. You know. Nelly says, smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bar. Exactly. That was a warning. Warning.
I want you to say that those are going to be the guys that you're seeing right there, and they're waiting for that all clear. And then this group that you see there,
yeah, they got all the agencies out there.
They probably have, like you said, they probably have ideas what they're looking for, where they might be. So, but right now it is still a waiting.
And don't think that they're not searching that home for drugs. They're searching that home for drugs, because you got to think, in all of those lawsuits, Cassie's lawsuit, the Little Rod lawsuit, they all implemented saying, yeah, Diddy had the drugs. Diddy was drugging people. Diddy did this and Diddy did that. Bad boy this and bad boy that. Diddy had the drugs. He was doing this. He had the pills. He was drugging women. So don't think that they're not searching their home, because they said that drugs is one of the hardest things to find. Like when people, you know, when the police are searching the home, because they got to check all the crevices. You know, it might be a little Xanny pill between the couches. You know. A little bit of fentanyl in the bathroom, you know, underneath the sink. You know, it might be like, you know, drugs, you know, all around the home. So they have to search the home thoroughly for drugs and, you know, firearms. I'm sure they're looking for that. They're looking for any type of evidence that can substantiate these sex trafficking claims.
Game to make sure that everybody is out of this building and that it is secure for the investigators to make their way in and actually start that search.
And we should mention, thank you, Stu, that
Sinclair says, just looked up what DHS investigates. Lordy, he's so screwed. What do they investigate? Let's look that up. DHS, let me see. DHS, that's the Department of Homeland Security, if I'm correct, right? Let's look that up. What does, hold on, let's actually. What does the Department of Homeland Security, hold on, Department of Homeland Security investigate? Let's see. Duties. HSI criminal investigators, also referred as special agents, conduct criminal and civil investigations including national security, threats, terrorism, drug smuggling, child exploitation, human trafficking, illegal exports, financial crimes, identity fraud, benefit fraud, commercial fraud, and more. Now you got to think, he's being investigated for sex trafficking. Now listen, there's two things here that would implement him in trafficking people. One of them is human trafficking, and another one is child exploitation. Something to think about. Honestly, man, it's something to think about. Actually, there's something else that I wanted to, because they're saying Reggie Wright predicted. Let me see if I can find that. There's a Reggie Wright clip on Art of Dialogue. Shout out to Art of Dialogue. Reggie Wright. Hopefully I can find it. Reggie Wright Jr. predicts Diddy Rico. We're not calling it Rico. We're calling it the Freako. Hold on. Here you go. Here you go. Reggie Wright told you Diddy would get raided months ago. Months ago he did this interview.
Outside men have. What are you
They
doing?
saying months ago Diddy did this. I mean, they saying months ago Reggie Wright did this interview where he was talking about how Diddy was going to get raided. Let's play it. Hold on. Let's see if I can skip to the part where he talked. Here you go. Let's get to it.
I wouldn't be surprised if some storages or some of Puffy properties be getting raided real soon.
Hold on. He said he wouldn't be surprised if some of Diddy houses would be raided soon. This man was predicting. This interview was done late December last year, ladies and gentlemen. He was predicting this. You know. Hold on. Dr. Strange says they said human sex trafficking is because he brought the sex workers over state lines and they were an organization he used to say the ring part. All via Cassie. This is easy case for them. Yeah, you know, this is what I'm thinking. I think that they're gonna flip over every couch, every bed. They're gonna search his home thoroughly. They're really looking for evidence to substantiate the human trafficking. They're looking for evidence for that. But let's get back into what Reggie Wright was saying.
Because they need to get to those tapes. They get one of those tapes.
See, even he's talking about the tapes. Like I think Sinclair was talking about the tapes, or was it Dr. Strange? Those tapes are crucial. Does Diddy have a library of, tapes in his home? Because they say that, people that are serial criminals, whether they be a mass deleter or whether they be some type of, sexual deviant, that does sexual crimes, they say that those people want mementos. They want like little items that they could go back to and relive whatever crime that they did or whatever. So me personally, I couldn't think that Diddy would be that dumb. That Diddy would be that stupid to leave a video library of all the foul things that he did. I couldn't fathom him being that dumb to do that. But let's continue.
With him, with those little people that's been making the accusations. Woo, man. Done. But Puffy the type here, he'll blow his brains out. Guarantee y'all. Or do like he did on that corkscrew lie. How he did. The next thing that's going to be happening, and after this, is now you're going to start seeing some criminal investigations getting opened. And because when you get too much of this smoke, law enforcement generally gets involved. So that'll be the next thing that will be happening to Puffy, unfortunately.
Look, February 29th, 2024. This was actually this year. I thought it was last year. Like late last year. This was done in February 29th, 2024.
For his sake, y'all know I'm one that believes if you ain't getting psychological help, getting some type of help, and you're a victim, you gotta come right away with me and tell it. That's what's happening to y'all boy Puff, P. Diddy, Brother Love, and all of that. But don't act like y'all just starting to hear it. Because I've been telling y'all, the brother is a homosexual. And
me personally, this is just my opinion. I don't think that Diddy is gay. I think Diddy's bisexual. I think Diddy is bisexual. I don't think he's gay. I think people are reading him wrong. You see him with a woman. It's not like you see him openly with men. Now, does Diddy have like those zesty tendencies? Yeah, but I think that he's bi. I think he's like a bisexual man. And you got to think. Let me just say this real quick. I like to rant. I think Diddy was in the hip hop industry, and the hip hop industry, as of back in the 90s. So you got to think Diddy came out in the 90s. The hip hop industry was very, let's just say, homophobic, I guess, back in the 90s and stuff like that. So he couldn't live his truth. He couldn't live his truth back in the 90s, and he's coming up in an age where, in the 90s, where that type of lifestyle, or that type of to live that way maybe probably wasn't accepted, especially in the hip-hop industry. So he did a lot of things in the dark. He would be at these industry parties with the zesty dudes, and people would see things and stuff like that, and things would occur. But I mean, I personally, I think Diddy is just, I think he's bisexual, but he's clearly sexually deviant, clearly. Because I mean, the stuff that Cassie was talking about, how he liked to watch her get pounded out and all of this wild stuff with the male men of the night and all this stuff, and he's allegedly abusing her. It's just it's a lot to unpack. But yeah, I think he's kind of, but I mean, it's crazy that he predicted that. Now let me go to also Gene Dill. Let me, because I see, actually, let me go to what's the name of that dude that was it's not Keith Murray. I think it's Mark Curry. Yeah, Mark Curry. Diddy with the bottles. He was talking about the bottles, because this goes into the theory of Diddy drugging people, right? Because think about it, because I'm sure that they are searching that home for drugs, documents, videos. They're looking for videos, they're looking for photos, they're looking for all of those things. But Mark Curry here, he was talking about an interesting time when he was on Bad Boy Records, and he was talking about how Diddy was spiking drinks. Diddy had people, spiking people drinks, spiking people drinks, allegedly. But this is what he talked about when he was on Bad Boy. This is what he talked about. Let's get into this though. Hopefully this thing, there we go. Let's get into it. Art of Dialogue, another one. Let's get into it.
I want to get your opinion. You was around Puffy, you was on Bad Boy. Looking at this lawsuit, Cassie, she claims that her and Diddy had freak-off sessions where they would get a male prostitute.
You talking about the freak-off session where they...
The freak-o! A superseding freak-o! I think more details are gonna come out, and Meek Mills is gonna be in there somewhere too. They're gonna pull out all the matching outfits they had together. Let's get back into it though.
Used to do in the studio and all of that over different entertainers' houses and stuff, where they be having them parties where they won't invite you to. And they'd be like, we having a party tonight.
That's another thing that I keep hearing about. Because you got to think. Remember what Diddy said to Fabulous? He was like, yo, he told Fab, yo, we ain't, when we gonna party? And Fab was like, yo, we partied. You been to my party before. And Diddy was like, nah, but we ain't party. Now, let me tell you that. He's talking about it right here. The secret parties, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's not invited to the secret party. Everybody's not invited to the party. There's a separate party from the regular or the original party. The secret party. The party. That happens in the industry, because I keep hearing about these secret parties. These rooms where, the Nori talked about it, the door. Everybody can't come in that room. Everybody is not allowed to go in. The party. Let's continue.
But this ain't your kind of party. You be like, yeah, I ain't going.
See?
I don't want to go.
See?
Freak off parties, when you go in there and it be
the freako, the superseding freako. Let's continue.
Yo, let me tell you something. We used to go in the club. We go into the nightclub, right? And we go and get to the VIP. All of these girls come around the VIP and they just be standing there. And like, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna get back with you. We gotta rewind this back. We used to go to when we go to the club, we used to have these bottles, right? And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been to have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff.
He's talking about how they would have separate bottles. Bottles that were regular and bottles that were spiked. Bottles that would make you feel one way and another bottle that, that make you all sloppy, make you all zesty, make you all, He's talking about it. What's going on in the inner workings of the Bad Boy, records? What was happening? What was Diddy doing? He was out of control from what I'm hearing. He was spearheading this thing. He was the head mastermind of this thing. You separating the bottles. This is the bottles for the women. We're gonna have them all zesty and out of control and doing all these wild things, and if a couple zesty dudes want it, if they want to take a sip, well, let them take a sip too. Like, what was the environment that Diddy was creating? What type of environment was he creating? And did it go on too long? Because I'm a firm believer that the environment that Diddy was creating, he's just a victim of the times. He didn't want to let go of the 90s. Diddy didn't want to let go of the 90s. He had all of this fun, turning up back in the day. Diddy bopping, take that. He was doing all of that in the 90s. He had a lot of fun, had a load of fun. But now we're in the 20s to 2020s. We're in the new millennium. You can't just victimize women, do all these, sexually deviant things and do these foul things to women and all these foul things to men. You got to pay for your crimes now. Let's get back into it, though.
So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles right there. So we already knew what the drill was. You just don't mess with them bottles, right? Then all of the girls is in the club after a while. They all running, opening up their mouth like little birds. He's running around just popping pills in their mouth. Pop, pill. And then that.
You heard it here. You heard it here, man. They giving out pills, drugging women. You heard it here. This is the environment that they were around. Now, this is my question to the viewers. Now, if you're in here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That is a warning. Warning. But my question to the viewer audience, was it just that Diddy just didn't want to grow out of this womanizing / zesty bisexual wave that he was in? Did he just not want to grow up? Because I think that a lot of rappers, a lot of entertainers from that era, I think they grew out of it. I think that they realized, you know what, I can't live like this anymore. Eventually, this is going to catch up to me, because it always does. Let's be honest. Bill Cosby, he ultimately went to jail for things he did in the 70s, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about 50 years ago, something he did 50 years ago, 60 years ago. You got a woman from 1962 coming forward on Bill Cosby, and ultimately, instead of cleaning up and saying, you know what, I'm not going to be a part of this no more. I'm not gonna involve myself in this anymore. He just continued to do it. He continued to be a part of this. He continued to be a part of the culture of drugging women and the sex orgies and the sexual deviancy. He didn't want to grow out of it. He just wanted to continue to do it. And ultimately, Diddy's paying the piper for it. We got 13 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. That is a warning. Warning. You know? That is a warning. Let's get back to it, though.
That was the party. But all of the females that was in it, that's what they wanted. That was what part. It was part of the hip hop culture. We ain't see nothing wrong with it until Bill Cosby got in trouble.
Did you hear what he said? Let's run that back. I gotta run that back. We gotta run that back, ladies and gentlemen.
Wrong with it until Bill Cosby was in it. That's what they wanted. That was what part. It was part of the hip hop culture. We ain't see nothing wrong with it until Bill Cosby got in trouble.
You heard it here. You heard it here. Is Diddy just a victim of the times? You know, he didn't want to let go of the sexual escapades and the drugging and the late night rendezvous and the male prostitutes and the freak offs. He didn't want to grow out of it. And ultimately, he's still doing these things. He's still, participating in these things. He's still a part of these things. And now, it's a whole new generation. It's a whole new generation where these things aren't tolerable. They're not acceptable. People are more likely to sue you for doing these things. They're not going to just let it go. People are going to snitch on you. People are going to keep it real because the people feel like they've been taken advantage of. They feel like you did them wrong in some way. I mean, I think that Diddy may be a victim of the times, man. Not saying that he needs to get off or anything like that, or he's innocent or nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but I do think that Diddy never really grew out of it. I don't think that Diddy grew out of it. I think that Diddy, he still want to turn up like it's the 90s. He still want to do the a lot of the freak offs that he did in the 90s. He never really grew out of it, and he's still participating in it.
He did one too many.
See, one too many.
Man, look. Let me tell you something. I don't mean to cut you. This funny. We used to be on the road. You'd be like, let me go with my puff room, see what they doing. And you're not going to puff.
Listen to this part. I remember this part. Listen to this part.
He'd be sitting there damn near butt naked. You ever just had a grown ass man answer his hotel door butt naked and they'd be like, come on in?
What? He talks about knocking on Diddy's door. And he answered the door butt naked, ladies and gentlemen. What type of time was Diddy on? Diddy was on some next stuff. He was on some next stuff. No Diddy, no Diddy, no Diddy. What was he on?
Then you be like, I'll come back. You ever close your eyes, you be like, I guess you're not presentable. And then walk away, because see what happens is if they be like, come on in, and then you come on in, they be like, this man just came into my room, I'm sitting there butt ass naked, I told him to come on in, and he came on in. You be like, so what's going on?
I'm not walking in no room with no naked man. I'm gonna keep it above you. I'm not walking in no room. I don't even want to know you. If you're a grown man and I knock on your door and you're butt naked, I don't want to know you anymore. All right, just the fact you violated me by even opening up the door butt naked. Like what type of time are you on? Like what are you on? What are you on? Just not answering the door butt naked. Like, but I mean that's what Diddy was on. He was on that type of time, man. He was on that type of time, and he was very much letting it be known, man. And it just shows you the type of environment that Diddy was on, man. It just shows you. Let me see if I can find one of the Gene Dale interviews. It's just crazy. But I truly do believe that Diddy is like he didn't want to let the 90s go. Like Gene Deal, he goes into the Meek Mill thing. Let me see what he says about the Meek Mill thing. I'm curious to know what he thinks about that.
Because you missed this. Meek Mills. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that, because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted.
Dr. Strange says, we're gonna skip over the fact that last clip dude said Diddy gonna unalive himself. I hope that's not why he was allowed to go to that private island. They say, but he's somewhere off the grid. I think, I mean, I think that personally, I think that Diddy is detained somewhere. I don't think that the feds would allow him to even do that. Like, you know, when you hop on a flight, unless he got some type of crazy captain or some crazy pilot that's going to live the rest of his life abroad. But when you're a pilot, you know, you have to sign a manifest to hop on that flight. You have to sign a manifest saying I'm boarding this flight, I'm taking this passenger. So everyone has to sign a manifest. So I don't think the feds would allow that to just happen, for Diddy to just escape like that and go to a private island. Not after he's been investigated. If he would have, you know, dipped off, you know, a couple months ago, maybe he could have did it. Maybe, you know, lived like, you know, lived like Russell Simmons, you know, getting put in the air with some guy putting him in the air with his feet. I'm sure that could have been Diddy too, if he would have, you know, made the arrangements. Dr. Strange says Epstein 2.0. It's looking like that. Sinclair says the high school quarterback still talking about the big game 30 years ago. We talking about Mark Curry? Mark Curry was just telling his truth, Sinclair. He was telling his truth. He was talking about how, you know, this what was going on back then, the stuff he saw. I mean, he was just telling his truth. Dr. Strange says, yeah, Mark lost me with that one. Yeah, when he was talking about Diddy answering the door butt naked. Yeah, I that was one story he could have kept to himself. He could have kept that story to himself.
Their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike.
Gene Dill is talking about the infamous photo. Now this is a funny photo. I'm not gonna I don't know how Meek, I don't know if he's ever explained this. Same outfit. I don't know if he's ever explained this, but it is weird. Why did they go to a party dressed alike? Like what was the science on them dressing alike? Do they have more outfits alike? Is Meek Mill in the Freako indictment? I thought that was very peculiar. Why are they dressing alike, going to parties together? You know, normally when people dress alike, it's normally like couples. Like couples will dress alike. You know, that's something like a couple does. Like, you know how back in the day, like, you know, you in high school, it'd be like a cute little couple, you know, she wear baby blue, he wear baby blue. You know, they may have the matching J's. That's something like a couple does. Why was Meek and Diddy dressing alike? Y'all remember that though, right? Remember back in high school? Remember back in your high school days when you used to go to school? It'd be like a little cute couple. They have the matching J's. You know, they may dress like each other one day. You know, same color coordination. You know, they may wear the same fitted hat. You know, they may dress alike. That's something like couples do. Why was Diddy and Meek dressed like a couple, like a high school couple? Why was they dressed alike? We need answers on that. I still don't know why they was dressed alike. Dr. Strange says between that pic and the pool clip, they definitely a thing. Yeah, I think so too. I think that they, there's something there. There's definitely something there. They've never really or Meek rather, because I'm sure Diddy's not saying what happened. But Diddy, Meek has never really spoke on why they were dressed alike that day. Like, why were they dressed alike that day?
On more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit, and they probably embarrassed for the fact.
I see Jadero's in the building. Salute to Jadero in the building. Jadero says it was twin day. Jadero, you know what I'm talking about. Like, remember back in the day, that's how it used to be. It used to be like a couple. It'd be like a cute couple. They have the matching J's. They have the matching outfits they made, it was color coordinated, and they would come to school like dressed in the same color coordination or dressed alike. Why was Diddy and Meek on that? Why was they doing that? and like, why couldn't they each bring like a woman that they dressed alike with? Like, why couldn't they do that? Like, why did they have to dress alike that day? Like, I didn't know they were that close into the pool clip and the twin pic. I didn't know they were that close, but clearly they're kind of close.
To see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood, whereas that he's dressing like the same. He dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but
he's talking about Rodney Jones. Rodney Jones is the other person. He has a lawsuit on Diddy. That was the music producer, Rodney Jones, Little Rod. Now he alluded to let me just run off to Little Rod real quick. No Diddy on that, by the way. Rodney Jones. Little Rod, right? Little Rod. No Diddy. Diddy accused of dispatch. Oh, let me not. Let me see. Little Rod, Hitman Rod. I wonder what he thinks about this whole thing. I think this is his Instagram. Is he saying anything on this? What is he saying on this? Health is wealth, Diddy. I don't know where clapping at Diddy on this one. Yeah, I want to know what he thinks about this right here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I still think he was with it. He said his little thing. I think he was with it, man. I think he was on that Christian London thing. You know how Christian London came out on Tyler Perry talking about, yeah, for all these years he had me doing all these zesty things and I didn't want to do them, but I still did the movie. I'm like, hold on. Tyler Perry asked you to do something zesty, but you still did the movie. He kept asking you to come to his hotel room, and you didn't just say, no, I don't want to do this movie no more. I think I'm gonna go somewhere else and try to pursue a movie career with another production company or with another director. You stayed there for all those years. He kind of reminds me of Christian. It's not Christian London. It's Christian Keys. He reminds me of like Christian Keys, that he was with it, but he's a little resentful that he did do it, and that's all allegedly, but that's what he comes off to me. But he came through with this. I remember this video. I'm not gonna play it. Let's get back to Gene Dell.
But I know this. two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos.
He wild. He kind of wildin'. I may have to edit that one out. But yeah, this whole thing is just crazy, man. This thing is just, it's really crazy, man. It's really crazy. I'm still trying to find out if Diddy is in, let me look that up actually. Hold on. Let me look that up. Hold on. Let me look that up. Because I keep hearing that Diddy is on a Caribbean island. But then I keep saying, oh no, Diddy's not on the plane. He was never on the plane. Where is Diddy? Where is Diddy? Is he arrested? I don't think he's arrested, but because they're still searching the home. If they wanted to arrest him, they could have been arrested him. I mean, I don't think arresting him was the problem. I mean, they have footage of him at the airport and all this other next stuff, so they could have arrested him if they wanted. They could have arrested him if they wanted to. There's nobody really saying where Diddy is. I mean, there's the footage of him at the thing. I played that when he's like pacing around. Of course, I'm sure he hasn't wrote nothing on his Instagram. I'm sure. I think Diddy may be detained somewhere. That's what he may be detained. This is the comment he wrote a couple months back. He wrote this, I believe. Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of these awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and truth. Sean Diddy Combs, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I want to know where he is, though. Where is he right now? Where is he hiding out? Is he in his panic room? Is he in his, is he in a bunker somewhere? Is he hightailing it to Bali? Getting the first thing smoking out to Bali right now? What is he doing right now? I want to know, what is he doing right now? Yeah, I need to know. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I want to know, man. I want to know where exactly he is right now. Because I don't think he was on that plane. I don't think for 1 second. Now, but my issue is this though, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I take issue with this. Let me get back to it. I take issue with this right here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen again, right? Now hear me out. Just hear me out on this, right? Let me read some of the comments before I get to my point though. Jadaro says, sound like R. Kelly when he said, I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life. Yeah, I remember that joint when he was sitting down with Gayle King. Jadaro, he also says, they said his jet was Antigua. Yeah, I heard that too. But then they also said that he wasn't on the jet. So it's a bunch of conflicting stories. This one story is saying he was on the jet. Another story is saying he wasn't on the jet. I was watching Academic stream. He said that he wasn't on the jet. It was actually one of what's that one? Young Miami. It was one of her friends on the jet. I don't know what's the science on that jet. Dr. Strange says he was at the airport in Miami waiting for the jet while they raided. They said it's a private island in Antigua. Yeah, they keep saying he was on a flight to Antigua, but they also said he wasn't on the jet. So I still don't know what's the science on that. Was he on the jet? I can't confirm or deny if he was on there. I can't confirm or deny if he was on there or not. They're not, because I haven't seen anything yet where it says he emphatically was on that jet, or he emphatically was yeah, I haven't seen nothing yet saying that he was emphatically on that jet, you know. But this is my issue about this whole thing right here. This is my issue, right? And this is hypothetically if he was on that jet, because I don't know if he was on that jet. But this is my issue. Dr. Strange says the TMZ clip was him at the airport, though. That clip that I played, right? Let me see. Let me go back to it. Okay. Diddy on video pacing around airport after 2 federal raids. Yeah, he was at the airport. Maybe he got shook though. Maybe he got shook and was like, you know what? Let me not go on the flight right now because I don't want them to, you know, panic or whatever. Think I'm trying to escape. You know, did he actually go on the flight? Did we actually see him get on the flight or get off the flight? I mean, he was at the airport. I give you that, but I haven't seen nothing that says that he was on the flight and he was there. He was at the airport though. He had all intent purpose of going to the Caribbean islands today. He had all intent purpose of going there, but that don't mean he hopped on the flight. He could have got shook. He could have probably got this surprise news that 3 of his homes were being, you know, raided, and said, you know what, I'm not gonna. Because think about it, if you get that surprise announcement that 3 of your homes are being raided by the police and by the feds, your first thing is not going to be to let's go on vacation. Your first thing is going to be what? Call your lawyers, call up your family. You know, that's going to be the first thing you do. The first thing is not going to be, well, I got to go catch this flight to Antigua. The first thing I would think you would do is call your lawyers. You know, call all your lawyers, call your lawyers in Miami, call your lawyers in all the different sectors, and try to fight this case the best you can. Sinclair says, just read Antigua or Cape Verde. If Cape Verde in Africa doesn't have extradition treaty with the U.S. Oh, yeah, I heard that as well. I heard that. My eyes are like burning for some reason. But I heard that, yeah, that some of those like Caribbean islands that they don't have extradition laws, just like Indonesia don't have. That's why Russell Simmons is in Bali. They don't have extradition laws in Bali. So I did hear that as well. But that goes more into my theory of the feds. They're not going to just let him walk on a flight and take a flight out of here. If he knows the feds is watching him, and he knows that the feds could have easily went to that airport and just stopped him, and could have stopped him right on the tarmac and just told him to get off the flight. So I don't think that, you know, he's dumb enough to run from the feds like that. I don't think that he's that dumb. I truly don't. I truly don't think he would do that. You know? Dr. Strange says he already has a kid there, most likely. Yeah, he probably got a home out there. I can see him having a home out there. That's true. Yeah, but I'm not sure though. I don't know if he was on that flight. I don't know. Me personally, I'm just putting myself in his shoes. If I had 3 homes that were being raided by the feds, and I was supposed to catch a flight to Antigua, I'm not hopping on that flight to Antigua unless I have all intent purposes of running away. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I'm not hopping on that flight to Antigua. If I heard that all of my houses were being raided by the feds, the first thing I'm gonna do is call my lawyers. I'm gonna call all my lawyers. And I'm gonna ask them like, yo, I need to find out what's going on because they raiding on my home. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm not hopping on no flight to Antigua. I'm not hopping on no flight to no Antigua. You can't even enjoy the vacation. You're gonna be thinking about a superseding Rico the whole time you're there. Sinclair says the feds can't stop him without a warrant. Without a warrant. I agree. But if he knows the feds are watching him, right? Keep in mind, he gets to the news, because I think all of this happened in real time, like the footage of him being taped. If he knows that, okay, he gets a call from one of his assistants in the house. Hey, Diddy, yo, the feds, they just kicked down the door. Yo, the feds, they coming in the house. And he gets another call in New York. Yo, Diddy, I was at the apartment in New York. Yo, the feds is here. They kicking down the door. Then he gets a call from California. Yo, Diddy, the feds is here, man. They taking all the laptops. They taking all the... I mean, think about it. Put yourself in his shoes, Sinclair. If you got 3 calls from 3 of your different homes, from people in your houses, and they all calling you, telling you that the feds is kicking down the door, is the first thing you doing is hopping on a flight? I mean, I'm just putting myself in his shoes. I'm not hopping on that flight. The first thing I'm gonna do is call my lawyers. I'm gonna call my lawyers and find out what's going on. Why are the feds kicking down my door? I'm gonna do some fishing around. Dr. Strange says, I don't know. I feel like if he was on U.S. soil, we would hear about him being detained. Exit plan sprung into action. There's a reason he was at the airport while the raid was happening. LOL, just saying. I mean, I think that they had that planned out. I agree with your thing in terms of them knowing he was going to the airport. I believe that they knew he was going to the airport too. I believe they was tracking him the whole time. They knew what time he had to catch that flight. They knew what time he was leaving. They knew all of that. And I think they intently did that. So when he got to the airport, he would find out all of his homes were getting raided. But my thing is this. Put yourself, so y'all not putting yourself in his shoes. Put yourself in his shoes. If you got a call from all 3 of your residences, is telling you you're waiting on your flight or you're about to catch your flight. All 3 of your residences is calling you, telling you that they're being raided. Is the first thing you doing hopping on a flight? Or are you going to call your lawyers? Or are you going to call your family members? Make sure you got to think. I don't even know. We don't even know right now if his sons were arrested or detained. I haven't read nothing. Let me look that up. Hold on. Let me look that up. Because I still don't know if his sons were detained or if they were arrested. Because the last thing I saw, I just had it on the screen there. They were in handcuffs. It looked like they were being detained. But I'm sure they at least asked them questions. You got to think he got 3 sons that's been had a silver spoon in their mouth since they was little kids. He might want to tell them, hey, don't say nothing to the cops. Get yourself a lawyer. He may want to be there for them in this dark town. Was Diddy sons arrested? Agents were seen detaining 2 men who were later identified as Diddy's sons. Sources told the 2 sons were not under arrest, but were detained outside as agents search the property. You got to think though. This is what I'm saying. Diddy don't know what's going on. I'm sure all of this was left field. He might have thought in his head, oh, my sons are being arrested. They're raiding the house. All of his sons have been born with a silver spoon in their mouths. They don't know what it's like to be in no interrogation room. They don't know how to talk to police officers. They don't know when they're being coerced into saying something or giving a statement and they're telling on themselves. So Diddy, the first thing Diddy may want to do is not just hop on a plane and get out of there. He may want to be here for his sons. He may want to be here and make sure people ain't snitching on him, or make sure his people got some type of legal representation. That's what I'm saying. You know. Sinclair says, yeah, I'm bouncing. My lawyers can do the heavy lifting. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't knock you for that. I'm just saying, for me, I would probably stay. I hear you though. It's not a bad theory. I hear you. I mean, maybe you want to get your mind off of the thing that's happening. Maybe you're trying to get away. I hear you. I get the theory. Dr. Strange says, no, it's not that. He knew they were coming also. LOL. He has power like that. This is putting myself in his shoes. LOL. You just can't see there being a different scenario I'm giving you. No, I see what you're saying, but for me, to me, it just doesn't make sense to me. Just for me, it doesn't make sense to just hop on a plane and just leave. And you got three sons with a silver spoon in their mouth that never knew how to talk to police, never been in the police interrogation. You don't want them, they may put out some type of statement that police may dig further. I don't know. I don't know if I would leave my 3 sons who have a silver spoon in their mouth and just let the police talk to them. That's just me though. Yeah, Dr. Strange says, yeah, I'm bouncing too. Sinclair says he said he'll delete himself. Wait, he'll delete him own mom. You think his kids mean anything? I don't know. I don't know Sean Diddy's character, I don't know his character. I mean, he did let Sean rot in jail for over 20 years. So I mean, I agree. It's a possibility he would do that to his kids. I mean, I'm still questioning why he allowed his kids to sit out there in cuffs. Dr. Strange says either they were knowing and waiting for him to leave to do the raid, doubtful, or he knew the raid was coming and made sure he wasn't there, much less in the U.S. to face detention or arrest. Sinclair says Puffy stand for his dad of the year of trophy. His dad of the year trophy. Nelly says, I think he was about to bounce. He got spooked and changed his mind. That's what I'm saying, Nelly. I think he was scared. Because you got to think, if you get a phone call that the feds are raiding 3 of your homes, this is all left field. Y'all not trying to see that. See, Nelly see what I'm saying. All of this is left field. I don't think he knew. I don't think he had a clue. This all hit him left field. He gets a call from 3 homes that the feds kicked down the door. You're scared. You're panicking. You don't know why you think the video was him pacing around the airport. He was just pacing around because he's trying to figure out his next move. He don't know. Should I hop on this flight? Or should I not? If I hop on this flight, are the police gonna stop me? Are they gonna meet me at the airport and arrest me at the airport? His mind is racing. He don't know whether to hop on the flight, to hop in the car and go to the lawyer office. He's befuddled at what's going on right now. It's a lot to take in for him, I'm sure. Sinclair says, telling his sons it's every man for himself. Sinclair, he has 3 sons that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They don't know what it's like to sit in an interrogation room. You think Christian Combs is gonna sit underneath an interrogation a light with 2 detectives, 1 bad cop, 1 good cop? You think he's gonna sit? You think his sons who have been born with a silver spoon in their mouths are gonna sit in an interrogation room without some type of legal representation, or be questioned and give statements without some type of legal representation there? I don't think Diddy would do that. I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would do that. Dr. Strange says, so y'all are saying his sons got detained on camera. Puffy was seen at the airport but is still in the US but not detained. See, the thing is, Dr. Strange, he hasn't been charged with anything. He hasn't been charged yet. They just kicked down the door. He hasn't been charged with anything. So, I mean, they don't need to detain him. I mean, I remember when the feds were investigating 6ix9ine. They kicked down the door to one of his houses. They took a bunch of stuff. They didn't arrest him. They didn't detain him. They were just there to, find evidence to substantiate the RICO charge. That's what I think is happening here. The feds already have the case already on him. They're just looking for more, more details, more things that they could, find to bury him, pretty much. Sinclair says they take the fifth with an expensive lawyer. Yes, I do. His sons don't even know the law. I'm sure his sons don't even know about the Fifth Amendment. They never been in no interrogation room. Christian Combs look like he been drinking breast milk since he's been 20. He ain't built for no interrogation room or no good cop, bad cop routine. He ain't built for that. He's been coddled his whole life. Dr. Strange says they can't be interrogated. They were detained, and Puffy and his lawyers knew, and his kids told his kids that. Plus, his kids ain't all that young anymore. So the answer was the police can still ask them questions. They could read them their Miranda rights, and they could give a statement. You got to think, yeah, they're of age. They're not like little kids. They're like probably 18, 19, 20, 21. They're probably in their early 20s. So they're not like little boys. But at the end of the day, you're talking about 3-4 young men that have never been in an interrogation room. They don't know nothing about giving false statements, giving false information. They don't know nothing about their Miranda rights. They don't know nothing about the law. They don't know nothing about the Fifth Amendment. They don't know nothing about that. So it could be, a lawyer could not a lawyer, a police officer or a federal agent could coerce them to give a statement or say something that may incriminate them. That's my opinion. I think that could happen. Dr. Strange says Puffy lawyers would make sure they would never see an interrogation room. Well, listen, his money is being tied up right now. He got a lot of things, He just gave Cassie $30 million. He doesn't have a Ciroc deal. They pulled all of the Sean John clothes. He had to step down from Revolt. Unless he got some type of great investments that we don't know of. I mean, his money is being dried up right now. I'm not saying he's broke or nothing like that. I'm sure he got some money stored up or something, or some type of money laying around somewhere. But they are trying to dry his money up. I mean, he doesn't have any type of deals right now. I'm sure I'm not saying he's broke. He don't got no money, but I do think that they are trying to dry his money a bit. Dr. Strange says, I'm sure Puffy done prepped them young men plenty. No Diddy. Prep them how? in more ways than one. No Diddy. Sinclair says offshore Switzerland accounts. Yeah, I'm sure he got accounts, offshore accounts and stuff like that. But ultimately, I mean, this whole kerfluffle, man, this is just. I didn't think that Diddy. I didn't think that the feds was gonna kick down the door on Diddy. I thought that the furthest this case was going to go, in terms of the him being sued and stuff like, I thought it was all going to be civil lawsuits. But ultimately, the feds keep hearing these stories. They keep seeing these civil lawsuits of Diddy getting sued, for all this trafficking and drugs and sexual crimes and sexual deviancy. I guess the natural evolution of this story is him going, getting prosecuted, or him being charged with, sex crimes and sex trafficking. Interesting turn of events. Interesting turn of events, man. But this is a wild story, though. This is a very wild story. But I'm gonna keep my eyes on this story, man. The diddler. The diddler. Wow, we've been on here for 2 hours. Wow, I didn't know we was been on here for almost 2 hours. Wow. But yeah, that's all I had to offer for the story. I just want to talk about this whole kerfluffle here about the diddler. The diddler and the freako. The superseding freako and the diddler. Yeah, but I just wanted to talk about this story. It's absolutely nuts, absolutely crazy. And it's gonna be more details coming out, man. It's gonna be more things coming out. They're gonna bring out more evidence. It's gonna be a discovery. I'm sure that they pulled out a lot of evidence out of that house, out of all 3 of the homes, because there were 3 homes that were being raided simultaneously. So I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of evidence, a lot of things that's gonna come out. We still got to find out if there's like some type of video library. I still want to know if there's some type of library of things, library of videos and photographs. Sinclair says the feds will keep the forfeiture assets. Forfeiture assets. Yeah, they're gonna keep a lot of items. There's like a lot of dust in this room today. I don't know what's up. My throat is like all clogged up. Pause. No Diddy. Forfeiture assets, though. Yeah, they're going to keep a lot of those laptops, iPads, computers. I'm sure they took a lot of documents out of their home. I'm sure they took a lot of documents. For some reason, I tried to pull it up. They had a huge evidence van and they were taking out boxes and stuff like that. They're gonna be there all night because that house is extremely huge. So they gotta search every crevice of that home, check for drugs, firearms, videos, any type of evidence that they can find to pretty much, bury Diddy. And that's pretty much gonna be the story on that. I will be reporting more on this. This won't be the end of this. I gotta do more Diddy lives on this because this is a breaking news story. So I definitely got to keep my eyes on this story. But thank you guys for joining me. Salute to all the mods. Salute to Sinclair. Salute to Dr. Strange. Salute to Nelly. Salute to Jadero. Salute to everybody that came out. Salute to Outstack. Salute to everybody that came out tonight, man. Thank y'all for joining me. I will see you guys on another video another time. Hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. This is True and Living. This is the Check-In Report. I'll see you guys on another stream. We out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good night, man. I am tired as hell. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I'll see you guys on another stream, man. We out. Y'all have a good night.
Reppin' the road, foreign status with my name on their toes. These studies announce me, honestly, put the seat back in the Odyssey, Prodigy, little